do that. It's because it's your ending.
I want to welcome you. I want to welcome you to the Asian My Show.
Oh, Antos says great advice. Be yourself. All right, I'll do my best. Let's pick up this phone call. Let's see. Hello. Welcome to the Asian My Show. What's going on?
What is going on, Alex?
Chilling. Who we got here so people can know who we're talking to.
This is Roger, one joke at a time.
Hey, man, you are a smart man because the way you write, man, it's beautiful. Do you write books and literature and all that, or
writing is one of the things I like to do is write. One of the things I like to do is sit and really think about a situation from all perspectives. You know, whether I'm on one side of it, I need to look at it from the other side. There's always other views. There's always things that we don't see when we just look from a one focal point. And one of the things with what's going on with the slowdown, they are on a very fine balancing act and a very fine line. They need to create awareness, but they have to do so without going beyond the line of really pissing people off. Mm-hmm. Because then what happens if they do that? If they do it, you know, I know people have opinions, do it during rush hour. You do that, you're really going to piss a lot of people off because you're going to be messing with their livelihood and their money, just like the truck drivers are getting messed with. But when you go beyond that line and you piss people off, you're doing exactly opposite of what you want to do. You want to bring people closer to you, to understand what's happening to you, to understand the cause. You don't want to push them away. So I think Saturday probably is a better time to do it. I think it's going to bring more awareness. It's going to have an impact, but not such an impact where you're going to push people across the line. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. And it's one of those things where if you start pissing off people, they're just going to hate you more, right?
Right. And one of the things people need to understand, and I wrote something on, there's another vlogger out there, Skimp D, that I follow. And I wrote something to this point. When Sally Smith and John Smith, she goes and gets her nail polish, and he goes and gets his strut for his Camry, she doesn't give two flying craps how that nail polish got to Walmart. Johnny doesn't care how those struts got to his parts store. It's sad, but it's true. They just really don't care. They're oblivious to it. That's life. That's fact. One of the most powerful groups, if not the most powerful groups, in my opinion, in the entire United States, even if you put all the Republicans and Democrats together as one, it's not the Democrats, it's not the Republicans, it's not me. The most powerful group of people in this United States is a truck driver. Now imagine this just for a moment. Imagine if every truck driver, company, independent, owner-operator, leased, I don't care, straight truck, semi, doubles or triples, bank enough money to say, you know what, I'm not driving for 5 days. And then all of a sudden, you want to see a no-traffic situation? Imagine what kind of impact that would be. Oh, my God, there's no traffic going through the I-95 corridor, going through Darien, Connecticut, up to Boston. Hey, there's no traffic going through the Beltway in D.C. Why? Because there's no trucks on the road. Now imagine, stop all commerce for 5 days. You want to talk about getting the attention of everybody. Then all of a sudden, Sally Smith, and all of a sudden Johnny Smith. Oh, those son of a bitches know where that shit's coming from.
Right. I hear you. No, that's more empowering, right? Almost like you don't have to say much, but when the consumer feels the impact, that's when we could start making a difference, right?
Absolutely.
And people are selfish. I hate to say it, but people are selfish. They don't think twice. All they're going to think is, these are some activists, these are some protests, something's going on. Half the people won't even know why they're doing it. So because of the lack of communication, they're going to be upset about it, and nothing's going to happen. It's just now they're just going to look at truck drivers as like these evil people just trying to keep you from getting to your vacation, right?
Right. And, you know, and when you think about it, the average person, not the average person, most people, going to work in the morning, they'll pass 30 trucks. And if you asked all of them, you know, what was emblazoned on the side of their trucks, those trucks, they're not going to remember it. Okay. Right. They're not going to know that they drove past the U.S. Express. They're not going to know that they went past an owner operator. They're not going to know this, that, or the other thing. But you have a truck driver do something stupid on the highway. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden they remember that. Mm. Okay. All of a sudden they remember that. And I made a comment on one of your blogs a couple days ago that me busting your ass with the Milford stuff came and bit me.
Right.
I had 53 feet of trailer snow slide off a U.S. Express truck onto my car.
Oh, Jesus.
You know, it was unbelievably stupid. Okay. But that's the stuff people remember.
No, I hear you. So, you know, I don't know. I almost feel like calling this number myself and asking them what they're trying to do, because they did leave a number on their article that you could contact them for information. I wonder what they would say.
You know, it's a tough situation. You know, nobody understands the trucking industry. You know, when I hear people talking, I try to at least get them knowledgeable about it. I'm not going to jam stuff down people's throat, but if you're going to say A, B, and C, understand, you know, the background, understand, you know, these guys on the highway, you know, living the dream. You know, it's not the way it used to be.
And I hear that a lot. You know, a lot of times people are just even nervous, wondering why I put my phone number or, you know, my this number down so that people can call me, and, you know, we actually have conversations. You know, people don't want to help people anymore. It's really sad, you know.
No, just you know, it's, you know, how many, you know, the days of a truck being broke down on the side of the highway and another trucker and stopping to help are gone. You know, the only time you see that kind of stuff happening is in the biker realm of things.
Right.
Guy on a bike going down the highway and sees another biker on the side of the road. 9 out of 10 bikers are going to stop.
Right.
Okay. That doesn't happen in the trucking industry. And we need to understand, you know, some of the reason for that.
No.
Time is of the essence.
Right.
You know, you're going to sit there, and this ties in with the ELDs. You know, time is of the essence. What are you going to do now? How am I going to clock this? I want to help my fellow truck driver, but how am I going to clock this on my ELD? Do I got to go off the clock? Is it going to go on my driving? You see what I'm saying? There's so many things that play into it. It's not that truckers wouldn't want to stop, but there's so many things that play into it why they don't.
That makes a lot of sense to me. To me. So I almost feel like, in a sense, maybe the group they're trying to do a good thing, but maybe the way they're getting around it it's not the most impactful. So,
one of the unfortunate things is that this great, big, powerful industry of truck drivers is the most unorganized one. You know, it's got it has the capability to do incredible things from the powerfulness that they have. The problem is it's not going to happen until it become more organized. You know, it's the biggest egg in the world in this country, except it's got so many cracks in it that over time we need to figure out how we got to get those pieces of shell back together. So it says, okay, this is the trucking industry.
No, I love that. And I'm trying to think of a way where I can help. I don't know how yet, but I'm going to try and figure that out. you know, cause it's definitely,
you know, hopefully,
yeah, go ahead.
Hopefully after all this is done today, out in Illinois, hopefully it has a really positive impact. Hopefully, you know, again, you're looking at, and this doesn't come up in conversation too much with this. You know, there's a thing called road rage. I'm just hoping, all right, that something stupid doesn't happen from either side of the equation. Okay.
I agree.
You know, so I just hope it has a positive impact, and we can just keep moving forward to get, the problems of the industry and the problems of the truck drivers out there as public knowledge. And so people understand that, okay, this is what these guys are going through. You know, it's like Connecticut, they're going to propose putting tolls up here. You know, and I'm not a proponent of that because they're going to focus after trucks. And I made a comment to somebody, if anything, when you come up into Connecticut through either corridor, whether you're coming up through 95 over the New York line, or whether you're coming through 84 over the New York line into Danbury, it is nothing but traffic. And I keep telling people, if anything, the state should be paying the truck drivers for the amount of time that they have to sit in 15-mile-an-hour traffic, okay, to come through to move their goods. You know, there was a time years ago, you know, when I was in the steel business, there would be when you looked at the transportation map, all of New England was pulled away from the 48 contiguous states, and it was classified as an undesirable delivery location. And we used to pay a surcharge to have steel delivered up into New England. Really? because it was undesirable back then. Coming through the Northeast corridor sucks. It just does.
Right. No, that's interesting. I'm telling you, you might be the guy that needs to go, you know, and that's the thing is, I have a hard time trusting politicians too, but I feel like we do need one of our own in there, you know what I mean? Helping to get some of these rules and these regulations passed, because we both know darn well half these things that they pass these guys don't even know anything about trucking.
You want to know the best way to impact the politician, to get them to understand?
Tell us.
This is what you guys need to do. Go to your local politicians and say, come on, we're going for a ride. And you do a ride along. This is what it's like, my friend. You see it from the curbside looking up. I want you to see it from the seat looking down. You see me coming down the highway with 53 feet of steel, but I want you to look down, and I'm going to show you the real deal. Do a ride along.
That's very interesting.
And that'll get them to understand. And to be, remember I say we see it from different perspectives?
Right.
They only see it from their focal point. Let them see it from the driver's focal point, on the inside of the windshield, not looking to the outside.
Man, I like that. I'm going to try and do that in my local area and see what I could get going. You know,
and that's going to have, in my opinion, the biggest impact to get a politician to understand this is what it's like. Because then they see it, they feel it, they smell it.
Mm-hmm.
They'll understand that, you know, that person in the stupid little subcompact,
right?
You know, darts in front of a tractor trailer with all these new sensors on. All of a sudden, the truck's stopping itself because the driver didn't do anything except some idiot pulled 5 feet in front of him.
No, definitely.
But
no, that's something I got to try to do in my local area and see if, you know, they would even entertain going with me on a ride along or not.
You know, just that would be big impact. It would get them to see it. It would really get them to understand it. You know, and it's and the more we understand the other side, okay, the more often than not, it's like, you know what? Maybe my way of thinking wasn't right because I didn't know the other side of the equation. Because there's a lot of things in my life that I took a stand one way. Until I really got on the other side and looked at it from their perspective, like, whoa, I was more than a little off on this. And I'll be the first one to admit that when I do it.
So definitely with this Black Smoke Matters, some of their, you know, leaders or what have you, coordinators, they need to really try to work something out and really see the other side and try their best to get them to see it than just blocking traffic, right?
Right. You have people that pay to go to these big racetracks and do these ride-along programs, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And they do that. Let's do it with the trucks. Maybe they should be a national day of ride along with a truck driver.
Let's start it, brother. Let's start it. I think that's you. We're going to name it Jokes. Jokes right along.
No, if anything, if you're going to name it anything, it should be named These Truckers Are Not Joking.
Hey, I love that. I love that. Well, I really appreciate you for your insight. I think a lot of people on here got some insight from that. So, thanks so much for calling. I really appreciate your support.
Yeah, and to all you guys that are out there listening to this, safe driving. Where if you're up in that cold weather, just try to stay warm and stuff like that. And remember, if you think life is bad, it could always be worse. I could be your neighbor.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
All right.
You have a great
day,
my
sir. Friend. Stay safe. Tell Jen I said hi.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Man, see, that right there was a very insightful